Man, it's beautiful here. I could live here forever. Welcome back, squad. TRG coming at you with another video on cryptocurrencies. I'm going to be doing these every Monday, so it's awesome that you guys were able to tune in. Now, we are going to talk about the elephant in the room, okay? We're going to talk about Fidelity Investments getting into cryptocurrencies. Now, they are the third largest asset management company in the world, okay? Not North America. Right? The world, like everywhere. Okay, so this is crazy. This is crazy. All right. Now, earlier this year, Fidelity Investments, the third largest asset management company in the world, announced the launch of Fidelity Digital Assets. The main agenda is to make Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies more accessible to institutional investors. The market speculates that the platform will be launched early next year. Now, if that is the case, we may see a substantial increase in price, okay? This could be mental. Now, if you don't know, if you aren't aware, Fidelity manages $7.2 trillion in assets, okay? Which brings me to our next article. What happens if Fidelity allocates 5% of its portfolio in crypto? Okay, now I had to know the answer. So I broke it down. I have all the stats on the other screen here, which I will show to you guys and talk about very shortly. But first, let's go through this article. So right here, Mike Novogratz provides support for BitGo. Now, of course, when Fidelity Assets is jumping into the crypto scene, you're going to see other people follow, right? Because there are some very smart people managing this company, and other people are aware of that. They're like, okay, we're going to go where the money goes. That's what people do. They go where the money goes. The companies go where the money goes. And that's what's happening here. So Mike Novogratz, he's made several videos. And this, like back in June, earlier this year, even earlier than that, where he was talking about Bitcoin and making predictions. And he's a billionaire who used to work for Goldman Sachs, right? So in this article, he basically announces that he's excited to partner with BitGo and Goldman Sachs. All right, and then hashtag the herd is coming, right? And basically what he's referring to there is that everybody, all of these financial institutions are getting into cryptocurrencies, right? And this is where we're going to potentially see that very large price pump for Bitcoin, right? Which I'm going to talk about very, very shortly. Nice. Institutional money will enter sooner or later, just a matter of time. So even the CEO of Binance just he breaks that down, and he's all about it. So now that we have this up from CoinMarketCap, we're going to do some talking about some market capitalizations. Okay. Now we're going to break down what we may potentially see for a price of Bitcoin in the middle of next year. Okay, now 5% of Fidelity Investments, what exactly is that? Well, if they're managing 7.2 trillion assets, if they put 5% of it into crypto, that would be approximately $360 billion. Okay, now if we look at the current market capitalization, we have $209 billion in the market cap, which is extremely low in comparison to what it was earlier in January, right? Now, actually, January 19th, the market cap was $560 billion, and Bitcoin was valued at about $12,000 to $13,000. Okay? Now, at some point in January, the market cap actually jumped. It went from 560 billion to 768 billion. Now, if we tack on 360 billion, which would be Fidelity's 5%, into the market cap, okay, we would have about 500 and probably 80 billion at that point but it would basically be about 570 right now, but yeah, 580, 570, 580, you'd be in there, right? So now what would the price of Bitcoin be, right? Well, approximately $12,000 to $13,000, because that was what the price of Bitcoin was at January 19th earlier this year. So we may see it go back up to those prices if Fidelity did actually allocate 5% into crypto assets. Now, the thing is, this is under the assumption that Fidelity is diversifying in other cryptos, not just Bitcoin. If they were to put it directly into Bitcoin, there is potential for us to see Bitcoin at about like $40,000 by the middle of next year, and that's just Fidelity, right? If other people are following exactly what's going on with these digital asset investments, I mean, the price could be astronomical, right? And just like the CEO of Binance said, it was only a matter of time. Right now, Bitcoin's market cap with Fidelity is approximately 688 billion, right? Which is approximately about $41,000 for a Bitcoin, right? If you scale the math that way. Now again, this is all approximation, speculation, but the potential is there, so we have to note this. An awesome fact about this is also that Andreas Antonopoulos, he actually called that this exact situation would happen. He called this back in 2014 when he was on a podcast with Joe Rogan. And I'll link the video to that in the description, and you guys can check that out. And I highly suggest you watch all of those videos where Andreas Antonopoulos talks about all of these different aspects within crypto with Joe Rogan, because it's awesome. It's great. They do a fantastic job, and Joe Rogan really asks all the right questions. Now, before I close things off here, I wanted to pose a question to you guys. If Bitcoin went to $40,000, what would you do with it? Right? What would you buy? Would you buy yourself a Lambo? Would you take trips? Would you take your family out on an exciting cruise? Like, what would be your plans? I'm really curious. If you could leave it in the comments below, that would be awesome. So, again, I am doing videos every Monday and potentially in between. Those are the surprises, you know. They may come, they may not. I'm not sure. It depends on how busy I get. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. And as always, stay regular.